Hello, and welcome along to episode 7 of In the Darkness Lurks, an Underdark experience. I think I'll do the who's playing first. I think we'll wait for the recap. Today I have playing with me Bruno.
Hey, I'm playing Zoroaster Silveron, a paladin that's also an Eladrin.
That you are. I have again.
Hello, I'm Agan. I play as Garrick Henrock, a Orc Moon Druid.
I have Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Sky Silveron, the Winter Eladrin Elf Aberrant Mind Sorcerer.
I have Darth.
I'm Duff, and I'm playing the Bards of Eloquence, Yum.
And I have James.
Hey, I'm James. I am playing Octavian Oberlin, a half-elf rogue.
Indeed. And that is our party in terms of players. But last week when we left off, the players had survived a relatively brutal encounter with drow captors who had caught up with them and were seeking to take them back to their previous slavery. The NPCs, however, hadn't fared quite so well. And when we left off, we had returned to the original base camp where the party weren't, to find that the Drow Priestess had certain NPCs in their chains. They had a chain that linked Vela, Nemea, Bupido, Topsy, Ront, and Stool together. This chain was abyssal and black and slightly flaming. And we did indeed defeat the priestess of Lolth. However, we did see some people had fallen to the ground. Vela and Nemea. Vela has been unconscious for a long time, and Nemea has lost her legs. It was pretty quickly established that Vela was dead, and Sarith established that Nemea was dead and hasn't yet moved from her body. And that is precisely where we are going to pick back up. I'll hand over to you.
Stool Dead.
You don't know.
I poke it.
He doesn't seem to reply to being poked.
Oh. Well. Sorry, Stool. I'll give him a pat on the head.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. He's a mushroom. He's whatever happens, the people around you are definitely not conscious.
But, like, is this one in which he's dead, or, like, can I use my healing to actually bring him back up?
Well, what are you doing to try and establish that? What are you doing to try and work that out? Apart from poking him once, gently.
Oh, I'll roll for medicine, if that's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, so I mean, what I want really is a description of what that is, Bruno. So, like, are you checking for a pulse? Are you trying to see if he's breathing? Are you standing him up and seeing if he flops back over? Do you know what I mean? Like, I need an explanation here of what exactly you're trying to achieve.
Since he's a mushroom, then
Indeed.
may I use survival?
I don't want to know what check you want to make. I want to know what you're trying to do physically in character.
I would pick him up, I think,
Yeah.
and I'd look at his little body that I'm guessing isn't moving.
No, his legs are limp. He's definitely not conscious if he is alive.
I'll give him a little shake, a very little shake, like, hey.
Okay. His body is warm to the touch. His eyelids do not flutter. His legs again lay limp. Eldeth sort of looks at you with, "You okay there, love?"
Elder, I'm doing paladin things. Sky, come
If you
come
say
here,
so.
please.
Doesn't look like it. I wouldn't shake
Well-
him. He might be dead.
Okay, well, be constructive, yeah? I'm not shaking him. Just give me some good feedback, Elder.
Well, I don't know. Does he breathe? I don't know much about mushrooms, if I'm being honest.
LFD is why it's a fucking mushroom, dude. Like,
Give me a nature check, Zarasta.
and I would like Sky to come over, please.
Okay,
I
you
got
can
a
call over
3.
this guy. Yeah, cool. So as far as you know, if he ever did breathe, he doesn't seem to be currently breathing. Did he ever breathe?
Right.
You're not really sure.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Sky, will you come to my calling?
I will walk over, but my arms are kind of crossed, and I kind of have the look on my face as if to say, "They're dead. Can we Can we hurry this up?"
I'm going to leave you two in that moment. Sorry, Darth. Yum. So what I'm looking for. Yum. What are you doing in this moment?
I'm going to go over to Bella and I'm going to check her for vitals to see if she's still alive by performing Dr. ABC on her.
Yeah, pretty much. You don't even get to the first to the A. As you look at her, you see contortion marks around her neck where the chain once was. Her neck is twisted in an angle that is incredibly incorrect for any living being. Her chest doesn't move. She is completely still, and her eyes are open. She does have a slight smile on her face, but without any check whatsoever, you clearly know that she is completely dead.
So with that and a sorrowful tear in my eye, I whisper to her, "At least you can rest in silence now."
That she can. I wonder, do you do anything to her body in that moment? Whether it's pass her out to the sea, whether you're going to carry her to the mushroom grove and bury her, whether you're going to just loot all her shit and leave her behind. I don't know, like... there's lots of options on hand here. What does Yum think? Nobody else seems to bother you at all, Yum, in this moment.
Do we still need both of the boat?
Yes. Even if
Okay.
every single one of those is dead, you still need both boats. Sadly. But you can... I mean, she floats, right? She's only a halfling.
True.
So I know harsh, but she does.
I ask Sarif if he's available to help me take any relevant items off of her.
Deal with your own problems. I'm dealing with mine. And he turns back to Nemea and starts gently sort of caress the back of her neck. And you can see that he does remove a few things from her pockets. But then he sort of sits her up. Obviously she has no legs, but like sits her forward. And seems to be preparing his own form of death ritual for her.
Okay, in which case I take any items from her that we might be useful,
Okay.
not including her holy symbol.
Yep. In her possession... bear with me a second. I need to open this up in a separate... There we go. In her possession is a small book written in Halfling. Many of the pages are missing. It's tattered and torn. And a small leather bracelet. That's all. We've already taken her tattooing kit. Those are the 3 things she had with her.
Okay. In which case, I gently carry her over to the water,
Yep.
cross her arms with her holy symbol placed in the middle of her chest, and I slowly push her out into the water.
Okay. She floats out into the water and floats along on the current just a little bit before you hear this sort of... and a creature reaches out of the water and Vela disappears. least she was
Rest.
good at recycling. Garrick, I come to you. What are you doing as this is taking place?
I suppose Garrick would look to the only two alive from the people that were in the brunt of that attack by the priestess. As he'll kind of look down then at Topsy.
So Topsy, Buppido, and Runt are sort of all tied together. Buppido doesn't look conscious. Runt is sort of... He's got his hands around his neck. He seems in a lot of pain, but he is definitely alive. You're not sure about Topsy.
Alright. I'll quickly kind of like put my hands near what I think his heart may be, see if there's even a vintage of if he's alive yet.
Sorry, is this Buppido or Topsy?
Topsy.
Okay. Give me a medicine check.
Alright. $18.
Okay. His heart is not beating. There is no pulse. But you do notice that, unlike the others, it is not a sort of... He doesn't have, like, bruising around his neck and such in the same way. Instead, you see that he is bleeding from the throat. It looks like it is a clear dagger wound, side to side.
Side to side. Alright.
His
Does
throat
it
has been
look-
slit.
Does it look self-inflicted?
No. No,
All right.
his hands are still was bound by the rope as much as the everybody else's were.
Alright.
And if you remember, Topsy's hands were bound by you guys as well. So pretty difficult to achieve for her.
Alright. And Buppido is unconscious?
He's not conscious. I think that's the best way I can put it. You don't know if he's dead or unconscious, but you know he's not standing around walking.
Alright.
Same thing?
Yeah, I'll see if he's alive, I guess, real quick.
Okay. As you reach down to him, he sort of pushes your hands away and... No. It's okay. I'm alive, I think. And as he says this, Octavian, what are you doing?
Octavian is probably... When the fight ended, he was kind of around a corner of like a pillar near the water.
Yep, down
He
there
would
somewhere.
probably, for a moment while this is all happening, probably step away from everyone and kind of in between his hands, kind of rubbing his family crest together, he would kind of take a moment to compose himself, maybe trying to bite his tongue a bit, saying along the lines of, "Knew this was a bad idea. Knew we shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't be here." He would take a breath in, walk back over to them, and probably approach Garrick out of
but
everyone and say,
before you do, did you not pick up some stuff from the priestess? Was that you?
Octavian does have a pouch that he stole off of the priestess.
Okay. I'm just double checking that. Cool. Okay, so you're going to approach Garrick, did you say?
Yeah. Assuming that he's done all that,
Yeah.
Octavian will approach Garrick and say, I don't know what the proper process for this is for, what we do with our dead. I've only been to one funeral before. Do we burn, bury, submerge in the water?
It's time for proper burials. Take what they have and we'll leave.
Sareth turns to you all, and if you're not going to get rid of the bodies, you should probably burn them, otherwise it will encourage predators. But that's up to you.
If Sky heard Garrick say that, Sky will just like slightly smile to himself, and just thinking, finally, someone's talking sense.
And you notice that Sareth has sort of finished his preparations, and one of the things he's done to Nemea is wrap her in a bit of sort of fabric-y cloth that was previously, part of her clothing. He's sort of taken out with strips, and he's just doused the very end of it in the lantern oil getting ready to torture, but he is sort of aware that maybe it would be more sensible to burn multiple people at once. Sorry, Tevin, carry on.
Should we burn the bodies from the mushroom grove as well?
The mushrooms will probably claim the dead there.
Very well. Actually, side note, the one drow that was with the priestess, does he have reasonable clothing on?
Yeah, he has clothing.
Could Octavian try it on and try and... Because presumably Octavian's still wearing a loincloth and armor over that. So
yeah, well, no, I mean, when I say you've got leather armor, you have got leather armor plus the sort of cloth undergarment that went with it. But you are right, you're probably wearing nothing below your sort of the upper knee. There's a proper pair of hose, some decent leather boots. It's quite a warm garment. It's not quite the puafwis of the higher drow. It's more just a sort of a cloak that is wrapped to keep you warm. And as you are trying on some clothing, Sky, you've obviously come up to Zoroaster, who's called you over. Hand over to you two.
Sky, can you cool this mushroom down, please?
Sky kind of like tilts his head at you and will telepathically say to you, you realize I can't
do you
control
mean?
the temperature, right? It would kill.
Okay, I'll take my shirt off, revealing my incredibly ripped body, and I will say,
Why did you get a shirt? Go on.
How'd you get a ripped body?
I'll wrap the shirt around like almost in like a little tube to fit Stu's body, and I'll say, freeze the shirt, because this way we can control how much cold he gets.
Again, Sky will kind of like raise his eyebrow and will say, you realize I can't just instantly freeze things, right?
How long is it gonna take?
Well, the only way this would happen is if you would pour water on the cloth, and then I would freeze the wet.
You are next to the water, like
Yep,
you're literally on the bay.
I'll dip it and I'll say, ready.
I'll kind of like, all right, and I'll either ray of frost or shape water, I suppose.
Shape water to freeze the water within a garment.
Freeze it, but I don't say anything to Zara because I know he means well, and even though I'm icy cold, I don't want to massively discourage him. But he kind of is thinking to himself like, this is he's gonna if a mushroom could get hypothermia, this is how. But he will let Zara continue.
So now with my little cold press, I'm gonna like slowly put it around Stu for a little bit, and I'll keep
Give me a
almost
medicine
mediating. Yeah. I don't have anything to boost that, so it's just gonna be a medicine check as is. Oh no, that's a 9.
Well, that sort of embodies everything that you're doing currently. As you wrap the mushroom in a frozen piece of cloth, after about a minute, maybe 2, the mushroom begins to shiver.
Ooh, okay, now I'll take it off and I'll just hug him without my shirt, of course, and I'll use my body heat. Like he's my baby.
Well, freezing him didn't work. Why not heat him up? Yeah, cool. Love that for you.
No, I'm regulating his temperature.
Oh, okay. You hug him. It's sweet. Sarah will go. Are you going to move out the way? We're going to light the funeral fires.
Literally eat my dick right now. I'm stressed enough, Sarah. If you don't mind.
Is he going on the pile?
No! He's literally moving.
He hasn't
Clearly
moved
alive.
yet. Well, he
He
was
said
shivering.
shivered.
Yeah, he shivered. Yeah, so he was alive at that point.
Yeah.
Let's find out if he dies of hypothermia. No.
No, because I know he's alive. I can now cast
Yeah.
Lay on Hands and heal him.
Cool.
Mushroom skewer anyone?
How many lay on hands points are you using?
Maybe I will use my once per day feature to use my lay on hands to stabilize a creature to 1 hit point without expending any of the lay on hands hit points.
Yeah.
I take it. That means I'm using it.
So you, as you place your hands on him and sort of concentrate and allow some of that Eldritch energy to come through. You don't think nothing's really changed in his state. Maybe he was never unstable. But he looks like he could use a good rest. He doesn't wake up, he doesn't stir, he doesn't speak. But
Stool, wake up.
he's warm, very warm to the touch, which is probably a good thing for a mushroom. Maybe, I don't know. Not a big thing on mushroom fungi's. Okay, but he doesn't seem to be too dead.
Woo!
Garrick, are you? I'll come back to you. You're just looting Topsy and Ront, and ignoring Bupido? Is that what I got from that?
Well, I'll first. I see that Ront is up. He seems a little bit better because I healed him just a little bit. All right.
Yep, he's standing.
All right. I'm gonna pick up Bupido. I'm gonna pick him up.
Okay.
Kind of in the air.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. He's sort of... What? Put me down.
And then I'll look over to Topsy's body over there. Kind of moving his face to the direction of it as well. And simply ask this. Did you do this?
Do what? Kill him? No.
Yes.
I was unconscious. And then he sort of gestures towards Ront, who is very much not.
Can I insight him?
Yeah, go ahead. He'd love that.
Who, Rund?
No.
Oh, his friend.
Bupido.
That's just a 13.
Ooh, it is not a 13. And again, you have been gifted by chat a natural 20. And with this, you see that while he is saying this, he sort of curls his hands over to sort of like maneuver his fingernails away from you. And he sort of looks to the side a little bit as he looks at Runt. You realize that he's not being completely truthful. And that he's definitely trying to hide something in his hands or with his hands.
Alright.
Alright, time for that.
Garrett, seeing this, he has no doubt in his mind now. He is simply going to take action as in his hands he will cast Primal Savagery and essentially do the same to him by putting his long enhanced fingers dripping with acid straight through his neck.
And you are currently holding him, right?
Yeah, I'm holding him.
Give me a strength check.
Okay.
Kill him! Kill him! Kill
Do him in.
him!
Get him right now.
Murder.
Gonna go bad. That one.
Yeah. So as you go to sort of reach closer to his neck, he leans over and he bites your hand. And as your grip loosens slightly, he sort of struggles out. And he doesn't attempt to get away. Instead, he gets clawing at your face. And as his claws sort of lean forward, you will see that there is blood under the nails.
It's confirmed.
You will not particularly struggle to keep him at bay, as he is not massively strong.
This is Bupido, right?
This is Bupido.
Can we help?
Okay, and Bupido sort of, at this point, turns to you and... It was all part of the divine plan. He needed to die. He needed to die. He was a bloody sacrifice to the avatar of murder, Dinka Razan. Always, he was the third in line. Time. Needed to kill them. Everybody needed to die. You all need to die. It's the only way we can be saved.
Stab him.
And as he's saying, well, no, I mean, you don't need to. A-Game's like strangling him. Garrick is strangling him to death, right? But he's sort of saying this over and over again, and he says it, and you begin to realize that neither Topsy nor even going back, Prince whatever his fucking name was, Durendil, were definitely not his first victims. He even goes so far to mention that the drow ruined his plans for Jim Jar.
Who's Jim Jar?
The one you ate?
The soup.
Wow.
Yeah, he was, you sort of hear these crazed plans that Bopido basically seems to have been hiding all this time, that his entire plan was to offer all of you up as sacrifices to Din Karazhan.
But why, you ugly thing?
Well, sort of as you say this, he says, he sort of says, because I am the living incarnation of the god himself, and that is my destiny to kill you all.
Clearly
and one
not.
more time as he sort of
Yes, sir.
reaches out to Slash, he's, I will return for you in another form. And you can kill him off.
Yeah, as he just says that, I'll razors like my fingernails like digging deeper into his neck, just begins to melt it entirely.
And just for clarity's sake, I'm just gonna do this. So we can see that after Bopido is killed, these are the... Well, no, Vela went down the river and got eaten. But those four are the ones that are going to get bound together for the funeral pyre.
Why Stool?
Yeah, sorry, those three. There's another dead one, isn't there? Oh yeah, Vela, and she's off gone. Yeah, so those three are the ones you can sort of bind together and set the funeral pyre. You sure you don't want to cook Stool? He might make a nice steak.
Send him away in the boat. No, he's gonna be part of my villain arc.
Okay. So those three sort of... And as they are burnt to ashes, obviously you would have looted them first. Yes? Okay. On Bopido, you find, secured under his loincloth, 6 vials of blood. They all seem to belong to different people.
He smiles of blood.
Yeah.
Where is he getting the vials from? That's what I want to know.
There were 3 empty ones as well, should you wish. They're little tiny. They're just like sort of 10 milliliter bottles. Like sort of scented oils and stuff like that. Those sort of size bottles. So there were 9 vials in total. 6 of them were filled with blood. Upon our good friend Topsy... where are we? Aww. Topsy has a small, what do you call it? Small piece of parchment, upon which is 3 little drawings, each of a brother and sister, deep gnome, at different stages of growth. That's Topsy and Turvy.
I just want to say that I think that Bopido should have been killed by Yum's vicious mockery in chat, because that is brutal.
I haven't seen it. I'm doing other things, but I will have a look.
Do you want me to say it?
No, it's alright.
It's a bit of a slide.
I see it. Sorry, just to clarify, Topsy also has looks like a sort of it's not a holy symbol as much as it is a sort of friendship symbol, I guess. And there's 2 of them intertwined because obviously you saw previously Topsy take this off of Turvy. So they both had these sort of friendship symbols, which are on a small string that each of them were wearing. And the head of a beetle. I don't know what you want to do with that. It's the head of a beetle. Upon Nemea, however, there is... Sareth sort of has taken a couple of things. You notice that, and he doesn't tell you what. But you did notice him take them. But he puts to the side a couple of items and says, I have no use for those. And one of them is a book.
Is it because he can't read it?
No, it's because he can't cast spells.
Ooh.
Multi-class into wizard, anyone?
It is a spell book. There are 6 spells inside. Does anybody look at it? Or are we just sort of, okay, we've got that, cool. Storing it. No one's a wizard anyway.
I need a bit of culture after what we've been through down here, so I'll take a read.
Yeah, okay, you look through it. The symbols are a little beyond you, but you can sort of garner the meaning of a couple of them. One of them is Dimension Door, which obviously you knew about because she Dimension Doored herself to death. But yes, a few other spells. And the other is a ring. It looks to be an arcane focus of some sort. It could potentially be repurposed for a new person's arcane focus.
Sky?
Yes.
Would you, by any chance, be replacing that component pouch of yours?
With...
One of the arcane focuses we've come across?
Do you want the component pouch?
I mean, let's be honest, I can't really do fuck all without one.
He'll think for a sec, and then he'll nod, and he'll take out the component pouch, and will hold it out for you to then swap with the ring, arcane focus ring.
Yeah.
Okay. You can go ahead and add an arcane focus. And the component pouch doesn't have... Does it have anything in it?
You sure don't.
No. It's empty, but it's useful. Cool. And the... yeah, that's Nemea. That's a lot of them. Off they go. Goodbye. And with that, we return to the sort of standard moment. You guys are all sort of on the beach now. We've dealt with those who had died. What's the plan?
Question. Is there... I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll just ask Yum for it. Yum, do you mind if I take a piece of paper from that book that you acquired from Nemea? Just a scrap would be fine.
Yeah, can do. I tear out a blank piece of paper and hand it over.
Yeah, you can tear out a blank piece of parchment.
With that tattoo kit I got from Vela, am I able to write on this paper?
Sort of. Yeah, it's not very elegant. Sort of a little needle and ink.
But is it?
It's legible. It's legible.
Okay. Octavian will take a minute and he'll do this on his own. He's going to write in common, stop following us or you will envy your dead. And is it possible to just go to the mushroom grove quickly, or is that more of
you can still come over there. It's only a sort of 600 feet walk. It's a 10 minutes. So I'm assuming you take a torch, right, and you do it in the light. You just walk there blind.
Yes, as quickly as possible. He's going to go there, and on the body of
the captain.
Yeah, the captain, the guy that we got all the magical items from, he's going to leave that piece of paper
Okay.
on the body
Cool.
and then come back.
Like that for you. Not curious what's in the pouch?
When he gets back, when he's among people, he
Yeah.
will. But when he opens the pouch, he's going to open it away from
That's
his
what I
face.
meant.
He's not going to peer.
Okay. Oh, you're not going to look in?
Well, he's going to open it almost scared, like that something would grab out at him when he opened it. So he's going to open it away from himself and then peer in.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
As you look in, there are 14 glass marbles. 15.
Taven
Sorry,
will
15.
We'll take one out and kind of hold it in his hand.
Roll me a d20.
Excellent. Nine.
9. You see a little image of Eldeth suspended in the marble.
Okay, that is going to scare the hell out of Octavian. He's going to put the marble back in the bag and close it.
Love that for you.
Yeah, I don't think any.
Okay. As you put it away, you notice that it was trembling ever so slightly, like in your hand. But as you put it away, it doesn't make any noise inside the bag. It is still.
Octavian is going to immediately call everyone, like just call it like, all hands on deck. I need everyone present.
What is it, dramatic boy?
You might know best. There's some shit beyond my comprehension in this bag. Nothing good.
I don't care to stare at shit.
Not literal shit. Problems. It looks like a problem to me. There were 15 marbles in this bag. I just pulled out one to have a look at it. And Eldith, there was an image of you in one.
What do you mean there's an image of me? Give it here.
Octavian will offer up the bag.
She reaches in and pulls out a marble and there's nothing in it. And she reaches in and pulls out another one. Oh, it's Mabel. Oh, here, there. It's moving. It's moving. And she can sort of feel it vibrating.
Octavian's going to take some steps back. He is super scared.
She will slowly get them out and show you that there is a marble for each one of you, including the NPCs that are with you, and there are 5 empty marbles. There are no marbles for those that have died. Or, if they were there, they're now empty.
So if we break the marbles, they'll stop being able to track us, right?
Or is this what they used to track us?
Yeah,
It would look that way.
break them.
For what?
Couldn't we use them to keep track of each other? In some sense?
That seems like a more sensible idea. I mean, as long as they're in our possession, they can't use them.
Alright, I'll take Sky's. And I'll give Sky mine.
Yeah, so it takes a little while to work out exactly how these are working, but they tremble slightly quicker when you are facing the direction of the person who you are holding. And they are very slow when you are facing directly away. So it's a sort of, you couldn't use this to navigate around a tiny little wibbly wobbly path, right? But you could use it to get a general sense of in which direction you should be traveling to find that person.
Cool. Let's make a move.
Actually, we should probably disperse these amongst ourselves. That way, if one of us gets lost, we could find our way back to at least one other.
There's 10 of there's 10 of us. Assuming Stool's gonna be carried by someone, should we do it in triages?
Possibly.
I think somebody just proposed a solution if you go in like that order, and you just go like round, right? So Octavian holds Mebbles, Mebbles holds Zoroaster, Zoroaster holds Sky, Sky holds Garrick, etc. But the problem is Zoroaster and Sky have taken each other's, right? Mebble will quickly point out that he has no pockets. Stool is unconscious and has no way of holding a marble unless he's going to eat it. And do you particularly want Sareth having a way of tracking you? I don't know. Just a thought.
I think optically we kind of have to let him.
Yeah, plus we know he's not the murderer anymore.
That you do.
Oh, well, at least not this murderer.
He's been incredibly quiet since saying goodbye to Nemea, apart from a couple of comments.
Unnecessary comments, some would say.
Yeah, he's sour. Slightly unnecessary.
He's crazy. We shouldn't be worried about his silence.
Indeed.
However, I think we should all start moving,
Yes.
and I don't mind leading the way since I can see.
Okay, well, neither of you are going to lead the way to anywhere, right? You're going to get in a boat. Is that correct? You were headed to the
I'll
Dark
lead
Lake?
us to the boats.
Yes, they are here. I don't have the pointer on. They're here.
No one else can see him.
Just to clarify for now, I guess we'll just collect up the marbles and throw them back in the bag.
Apart from Sareth, apart from sorry,
Zoroaster
Sky and
and
Zoroaster. Yeah.
All right, Octavian will keep the bag then for now. We can decide this later.
Okay. Yeah. With that done, you guys can get rolling as such. And you're still attempting to head to Dark Lake, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You swiftly find yourselves drifting down the river, and it's fair to say I'm just gonna divide you guys up into like two groups. So we're just gonna sort of do that, right? Will that do? Oh, Octavian likes this person. Maybe we'll put Sareth over here. Will that do? Is everybody okay with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Fine with that.
Content.
Yeah, so with the two boats, obviously Sky's boat in the lead, as both Sky and Sareth can see fairly clearly. You head swiftly down the water. If you're looking out the front, I'll have a perception check from Garrick, please.
Okay.
Sky is just gonna, like, as they're rowing, Sky is just gonna be humming just around the riverbed.
That one is a
Are we
dirty
doing the
20.
backing vocals?
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yes.
You sort of hear and eventually see a couple of times with the torches that there is a creature, maybe two, following you within the water.
Gary will mention this as we're keep going, that there's something underneath following us, to those in the boat, and to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Just shadows in the water, or what do you mean by things?
I can't really see properly now, can I? It's something.
Perhaps it's what consumed Villa.
It does seem to you like they are large enough to do so.
Do we hear Garrick saying this? voice in the other boat.
Yeah, all of you can hear. It's very. There is nobody around here. The voices are echoing quite clearly off the walls. In fact, even the quietest of whispers seems too loud in a place like this.
Okay, if that's the case, then I will look into the water to see if I can see anything. I will also remind you that I can see invisible creatures and seem to be a thorough.
But you are in the front boat.
I don't know where they could be everywhere.
Yeah, so they are behind the second boat in line. As you look over there, you are able to get a brief idea of the size of them. They are definitely bigger than the boats. They seem serpentine in nature.
Do they look vegetarian?
You don't know. You've never seen or even heard of creatures like this before, that's for sure.
Are they some kind of leviathan?
You're also not sure. You can barely see them.
Yeah, that was a general question to whoever can see them.
Okay. Somewhat serpentine in nature is what I've got for you. Garrick, what are you doing after you've said this?
I suppose Gary would sort of think of ways in which might help in getting rid of these things from their trail. But he doesn't really have a weapon to really potentially get them to leave, or just straight up raw meat to really try to throw it in there.
No.
Unless there's rations, does this ration like have some meat in it?
Yeah,
that we
the
have?
rations are made of smoked meat and hard biscuit.
Would I know if underwater creatures be able to eat this sort of thing?
Yeah, you would assume that any meat-eating creature will be able to eat it.
Alright. Gary will try to get them to stop and maybe lose their trail by throwing like part of meat into the water, see if maybe they are attracted to that instead.
Are you doing this without speaking out loud?
You'll see me take it out, and then I'll kind of briefly, as I'm like tearing it off for some part of the meat, I'll say that I'll try to get it off our trail.
Do you think it might follow us if we feed it?
I'm thinking it may take a little longer for us to chase us.
Perhaps, but I fear that it might attract it to us more. If it knows we have food and we keep leaving food for it, perhaps Vela was the first thing. Now we give it more food, it follows us and expects more.
I will have
Give me
to
a-
agree with that.
Charisma save, Octavian.
Charisma save?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Ooh. 3.
You suddenly feel an irresistible urge to agree with Garrick that you should throw the meat to them. Like a sort of, it's compelling. It's like almost like you've been yanked into action.
Alright, but Garrick, you've always known best. You know, being down here for so little time, what do I know?
As an animal person, would his previous argument make sense in regards to wildlife?
In what sense?
In the sense that if I decide to throw out this creature food, would it think to keep following after the previous thing it was trying to eat?
It was following you anyway.
Hmm.
That's what I'll give you. It was following you anyway.
Alright. Garrick will simply put the food back then.
Garrick, give me a charisma save.
Okay.
As this creature turns idly in the water, you see a sort of swirling, almost eye-like pattern on its back.
7.
7. You change your mind, and you take out 2 rations and throw them immediately.
What on earth is going on in that boat? I
As
will
it-
look over. Garrick, what are you doing? I know you're an orc, but like, use your brain, yeah?
Ooh, as just before you reply to that, Garrick, as you throw the meat, you see the creature sort of reach out of the water. Its long, sinuous neck sort of snaps down on the rations. And it sort of turns, and you catch its gaze, and it catches yours. Its eyes are impossibly black. Even in this darkness, they feel dark. And your gaze is captured to theirs. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Alrighty.
Garrick, if you die, I didn't mean it. I think orcs can be pretty smart.
That is 11.
Octavian, you notice that Garrick has sort of locked gaze with this creature and is standing completely still. He doesn't move. He doesn't say anything. He hears Zarasta, maybe he doesn't, but he doesn't respond in any way. He has stood on the boat, quite precariously, to be fair, just staring at this creature.
Is Octavian like behind Garrick?
I think after the conversation, you guys are probably like kind of next to each other in the back of the boat. You sitting on the bench and him sort of standing facing backwards, right?
Yeah, Octavian is just... He's going to kind of like tap Garrick on the back and say, Garrick, we need to focus here. What's going on?
You get no response.
Octavian is going to take his sword and hit his back with like the pommel of his sword. Like, not intent of hurt him, but just drastically to get his attention.
Nothing.
I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions on him. Well, I suppose the whole boat, really.
Yeah, no, you can do that.
Yeah, everyone charisma saves. Obviously trying to suppress.
Specifically, I will take a charisma save from Octavian. The others right now do not matter.
13.
13.
Yeah, that's my save.
You do feel a slight calming influence on you, Octavian, until you look down at the bottom of the boat and notice that Garrick's feet are encased in rock.
Shocking.
Garrick, I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Lamau, that's a 4.
Okay, at this point, every single one of you will have realized the commotion going on. And Eldeth, who was in the boat with you guys, sort of turns and then yells out loud, "He's turning to stone! What can we do? How can we help him? Somebody needs to get rid of that creature!"
Oh no.
And indeed, the stone creeps up your legs to your knees, Garrick.
Oh, if only someone could help. How far is their boat?
About sort of 15 feet tied to you.
Oh my gosh. I guess one of us has to save the day. Sky, take the wheel. I'll face step into the boat.
Okay.
Don't we all have pedals?
None of you have pedals or wheels. You have
Pedals.
Oh, paddles. Yeah, okay.
May
sort
I
of
face
oars,
step?
I think, is the. You want to phase step into the. How many phase steps do you get a day, Bruno?
2. Which I still have.
What? That's not possible.
It is. I walked every time.
No, you phase stepped in the fight.
No, I
At
wanted
least
to
once,
face
if
step.
not twice. You
I
phase
wanted
stepped.
to face step.
You phase stepped out of melee range so that you could then walk around behind a rock. I remember discussing whether it was cover. I also remember you phase stepping across a river at some point. But I'm not sure if that was in that fight. I'm sure you also phase stepped to Eldeth.
BRB, let me just watch the VOD.
Well, I know you at least did it once, right? I will say yes, but that is the end of your... You get 2 a day, right?
Yeah.
That is the end of your phase steps for today. And as far as I'm aware, you have 2 points in lay on hands as well, right? Because you used 10 on Octavian, and then you leveled up to gaining another 5, and then you used 1 to stabilize someone, and then you used an empowered, which I don't know if it expends anything.
I'll just say yes. I don't really plan on healing anyone. The more people
Yeah,
that
that's
die,
right.
the more...
I'm just aware that it's been a long time in terms of number of sessions since we took a rest.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I was tracking it, but I don't really care.
That's okay.
I don't
I've
generally don't
just
intend on healing people.
Um, as Zora stands up and it looks like he's going to either jump or whatever, I'm gonna put my arm in front of him to stop him. And I'm just gonna psychically say to him to use the pedal to try and distract the creature to end whatever hold it's got.
Can we call them oars? I'm getting really confused by this talk of
Fine
pedals.
oars.
Thank you.
Use the oar to whack it in the face.
Okay. When I face step, I would like to use this. I don't know if I'm gonna be allowed, but I would like to try. The autumn, because they are within 10 feet of me.
What are?
And the creatures, the two creatures on the water.
No.
No.
10 feet is still in the boat. Right? The boat's like, sort of quite long, right? You've got 7 or 8 people in it. The creatures are behind it, and this creature is sort of raised up in the darkness behind you. Yeah, there is. I mean, I would say that if you reached out at full length from the very back of the boat with a paddle, you may just about be able to reach the creature. Sorry.
That is quite sad, so I'm not going to face step, and I'm going to keep paddling on the boat, and I'm going to shout to the other one and say, "Good luck, guys!"
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Wait, just to clarify, this creature, is it out of the water? Like, can Octavian clearly see it?
You saw it very briefly raise its neck, like out of the water, and grab the ration, and then it ducked. It's sort of now it's back. It's parts of its body are out of the water, but it's swimming. It's swimming at pace.
Can Octavian see the connection between the gaze of the monster and Garrick?
The creature is no longer gazing at Garrick. It is only Garrick that is gazing at the creature. Their gazes met, and then in that moment, Garrick had to make his con save. Right? He's still staring where the creature was, but the creature is not staring back.
Okay, it's not continuous. Got
it. Maybe get him facing not the water might help us.
Can Octavian? Okay, can Octavian take the oil skin off Garrick and like put it over top of him so it covers his head, like his eyesight?
You want to cover his head so they can't see?
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, go ahead. As you cover his head, Garrick, give me a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
And there was me thinking about doing prestidigitation sparks, but it wasn't direct contact at that point.
11.
11. Oh dear. You're not doing very well at these, are you? Octavian, you know that he isn't looking anymore, but Garrick doesn't move, and the stone creeps further up his thighs, almost to sort of mid-thigh. And at this point, the boat starts to sort of drag in the water as the stone within the water is sort of weighing the boat down, right? The front boat, guys, your boat starts to sort of skitter side to side. I wonder, is anybody looking out forwards at this particular moment?
I would assume the lead boat is.
I think I would be.
Yeah.
Like, after I said that to Zara, I would have just assumed he'd take care of it.
Sky, you don't see anything yet, but you do hear the rushing, flowing, crashing water, sort of in the distance.
No, we're coming to a wall.
I don't know what you said, but I just heard we're coming to, and then you punched your microphone off.
I said, oh no, we're coming to a waterfall.
Yeah, maybe, or or perhaps a rapid turn, or a little bit of a drop, or whatever. Yes, you would get that impression, Sky.
Okay. Is there anywhere around that looks like we can like stop off, or is it just wall?
No. It's been beach running along both sides of the water for quite a long time.
Okay, then I will like yell back to everyone that we're coming up to something, either like some I don't know, heavy currents or a drop or something, we should try and stop and get a better look at our surroundings. And then with that, I'll try and, I don't know if we can like touch the floor of this river with the oar.
No.
No.
No,
Then
not
I
even
guess I'll
close.
just try and use the oar, like the wall, to try and either get the boat to turn sideways to slow its motion, or to just try and
Yeah, so you guys managed to stop the boats before with a combination of sort of like dragging your oars in the water and then eventually using a rope round stalactite. Stalagmite, sorry. Yeah, go on, Duff.
Is it bad that I want to tie a rope around Garrick and then just drop him in the water to use as an anchor?
Would be effective until he became dinner. But as
Would
these,
he need to eat rock?
as you sort of start slowing the boat at the front, Sarith and I'm sure Mebel as well will help. Zoroaster too, I'm sure. And sort of slowing it down, Sarith sort of whips out a rope. And as the boats begin to slow, Octavian, and I think at this point, Yum and Eldeth, I need a charisma save, please. Oh, that's fine.
Oh, I'm definitely
Sorry, it's
fine.
Ront who's also there.
18 from Octavian.
Ront starts to maneuver down the boat, and Octavian, he sort of gets to a point where he's almost trying to push past you and Garrick to the back of the boat.
What are you doing?
They're
Stop
hungry.
that.
Can't you feel it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Hold you. Go back to your seat.
What was your charisma save, actually, Octavian?
18.
You did feel it, but you don't feel compelled to do anything about it. Ron says, but we should throw them some meat!
Octavian, does Octavian have any rations on him?
I don't know. Does Octavian have any rations on him?
I don't think so. I think any rations were in the group. I don't know if Garrick ended up with them on his person.
I think Garrick has them.
Can Octavian reach onto Garrick and see if he has any more rations after throwing 2?
Sure. You find the... Garrick, did you have any more?
Any more on me?
I think you guys only had 4 rations left.
I mean, I don't have any left in my inventory now.
No. You search Garrick, but find no more, and Ron sort of looks at you. Idiot! You're meat! And he tries to pick you up to throw you off the boat. Octavian.
Reaction? I don't.
Yeah,
Octavian
you can just
would not
react.
let that
Yeah,
happen.
however you want. How would you prevent the big orc from picking you up and throwing you off the boat?
Octavian would probably draw his sword and slash at him if
Cool.
he made the move.
Yep. So you sort of catch his fingers, and he sort of looks at you, and you see his eyes sort of refocus, and he sort of, "What did you do that for?
I don't want to die.
Why are you going to die?"
You were assaulting me.
I. He looks a little bit confused and sort of just holds his hands back, and he sort of steps away from you, Octavian.
Octavian will lower his sword but still keep it in his hand.
Garrick, I need a Constitution saving throw with advantage, please.
Yeah. $17.
Cool. The stone doesn't seem to be going any further right now. Sky, you hear a whisper, sort of almost in your mind. Maybe you should just cut the rope. Leave the other boat behind.
Agreed. But that would make it a kind of shitty campaign. So I'm just like, Sky is like, with these whispers, part of him thinks either he's going crazy or these weird whispers are helping, or maybe they're his intrusive thoughts. So part of him is trying to pretend that it's just him thinking it and then hearing it. Yeah. So.
Okay. As the boat sort of swings round, you're able to stop the front boat on the sort of beach, and we. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's exciting. I pressed a button. Sorry, guys. Yeah, you sort of get the front boat onto the beach. The second boat sort of swings round quite heavily and whacks into the beach. You immediately hear a sort of crunch as the underside of the boat sort of is pulled over the rocks. As the entire hull of the boat is sort of ripped out from underneath it. Eldeth and Ront leap out onto the beach. Octavian, Yum, and Garrick. Well, Octavian and Yum. Garrick's not very relevant right now. What are you two doing?
Octavian would run off the boat, and as soon as he's on firm land, he would pull his Cloak of Elvenkind, like, over his eyes. Like, so he could see kind of down in front of him, but, like, so his eyes in general were kind of covered. Much like he did to Garrick.
Okay, but you are also leaving Garrick.
The boat
Sorry,
is
sir?
safely on shore, correct?
No, the boat. Well, yeah, I guess. Sort of. It's
Garrick
on
won't-
shore. Safely is a big word.
The boat is not in the water where Garrick
No,
would
the
sink
boat
with the
is
boat.
not in the water. Indeed.
You know, put the mask on yourself before your child is Octavian's thinking right now.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
going to safely get to shore.
Love that
Oh,
for
shut
you.
up and help me get him out.
Glad you watched the airplane videos. Yum, what are you doing?
As I try to rush out of the boat, I try to drag Garrick out along with me.
Mm-hmm. I suppose you can give me a strength check. I don't think you're capable of it, but you can try.
Nat 20?
No, that's a 0.
Same thing.
Close. Yeah, you pull on him, but his entire lower body is encased in rock.
I just shout out to the rest of my boat, "A little help, please!"
Yeah, Ron sort of turns to him and will sort of reach over, and as he grabs at Garrick, you all hear the sound of rock being split from the boat. And Garrick, complete with his rock-encased legs, is dragged up the beach. As you see this gargantuan serpentine creature glimmering in the lights of the torch, sort of reach out with this neck that's almost 15 foot in length and snap at where the boat was before continuing on down the river. You may each take 100 experience points for safely navigating the river basilisks. Garrick, over the course of the next 3 or 4 minutes, the rock begins to melt to mud and drip down your legs, and you feel your senses come back to you. Congratulations. We made it to shore. If you would like to each... Go on.
Did the serpent break the boat by doing that?
The boat was already completely ruined from being dragged up the rocks, right? You now only have one boat. It is going to be a squeeze. I will see if I can get an image of the sort of boat that I have in mind. The book I'm stealing from doesn't provide it. But in the meantime, you may place your tokens at the very top left of the map, up here where I'm pinging. Can somebody continue pinging so I can let go? Yeah, I think this'll do as an image. It's not the best, but it's something. Add a handout. Boat All players, all players. Yeah, so it's sort of a bit like that. It's probably a little narrower and a little less wide. But you understand now why you weren't able to fit 10 people in it, right? You can sort of do 2 and 2 and 2, and then like maybe 1 at the front if you're lucky. When you had Vela and Mebel and Stool sort of lying down at the bottom of the boat, you can squeeze a couple more in, but it's not an easy task. And welcome along into a new area. As soon as your boats sort of pull up on the beach here, you'll notice that. So just for reference, there is a beach area that goes sort of that way and that way, but it doesn't seem to like it never comes in from the rocks. And after about 20 or 30 feet in either direction, it's sort of there's a bit of wall, which would mean you'd have to swim around the next bit of beach. You find yourselves in some tunnels. Is anybody using any light source in this place?
Can we take a rest?
You want to rest?
I have 4 HP. I'd very much like to take a breather.
Okay, so we're talking like a short rest?
Yeah.
Okay. You may need to move a little bit away from the beach, obviously. You never know when the serpentine creature will. I'm assuming that your boat that is very much intact, you're going to drag up well onto the shore where it's safe. Okay. Sky, from where you are, as you look down the corridor, you do see a couple of things. The first thing is you see spiderwebs everywhere. The walls and the ceilings are absolutely thick with them. A little bit down the way, sort of just on the edge of your vision, you see that the path sort of gives way into large, empty, vast caverns. Garrick, give me a perception check, please.
Alright.
I think as people start like setting up to like chill for the next hour, I'll just inform them that there could be creatures nearby, and judging by the cobwebs, probably large spiders. So even though we are resting, we should try and stay as alert as we can.
Yeah.
Not 20.
Okay. You hear the
23.
faint sound of laughter coming from very far down the corridors. Almost like giggling.
I hear laughter. Further ahead.
Also hear loud footsteps, but almost like that it's overhead somewhere. Sky, as you look upwards, it's dark, but you can sort of, with your dark vision, peer up a little bit, but you notice there are lots and lots of crevices and such that you can't quite see from where you are.
Also places for spiders to hide.
Oh, yeah,
Giggling
very much so.
hyena spiders to hide.
No, the giggling sounded very humanoid.
Oh, giggling witch spiders to hide.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps. Short rest, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
It sounds like there may be creatures nearby.
Yeah, you get about 10 minutes into your short rest. You may not short rest, you may not click the button. Let's have a little look. What have you got here? Floating down from a little sort of from a little higher up seems to be a pool of thick darkness from the ceiling. You can't see through it, Sky.
Yeah, I was just saying if I could see through magical darkness, and I can't.
No. Okay. And you hear this sort of high-pitched, almost whistling noise, and then dropped in front of you, like with a solid, is a small, covered in spider webs creature. It's dropped in the middle of you all. It's right about there.
Like dead body dropped? Do you mean?
You don't know if it's dead, but it's sure as hell covered in spiderwebs.
I am going to... No, actually. I was going to say I'm going to cast Dancing Lights to see if that penetrates the darkness, but I don't want to attract the spiders to us.
Decisions.
Octavian's going to draw his sword and dagger.
You could potentially create the dancing lights and move it away from us, so we're not within the light's range.
Just for a token to show you where this body is. It's not. It doesn't look like that, but it's just sort of there, like just there. Nobody has any lights lit right now. Is that correct?
Apparently, no.
Yeah.
Probably the trick's gonna.
So only Sky has seen this body drop. The rest of you just heard a thunk.
I told you there was something nearby.
Sorry, I should just get these on the map with you. That's Ront. That's Stool. That's Sareth, and he will sort of say, "Well, shouldn't we investigate it?" He sort of points at the body.
I think as long as we keep quiet, we can rest and then worry about what creatures lurk in the dark.
You are too optimistic.
Well, given the situation we're in, don't we need optimism?
Those that can see, did either of you see where that noise came from?
Yeah. And then I would point upwards, but he can't see me. So I'll just say yeah. Up the ceiling. Also, it's not optimism, it's being realistic. We can't fight in this condition.
Octavian is going to kind of, knowing that it comes from above, hold his sword like almost above his head.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if something were to fall on him or drop from him on top, it would impale itself on him, on the sword.
At that moment, suddenly, everything goes dark for all of you. You can see perhaps 2 feet out. We can't really, but I've given that to your character so you can see your own tokens. Even for those of you with dark vision, so Sareth, that floating darkness that was up above seems to have been activated around you, and you feel a strange movement coming close to you. I need you all to roll initiative, please.
Oh my god, why are we all rolling nat ones?
Octavian
Nat
didn't.
20.
Roll that.
I'm always first. I don't know why.
This is my second nat 1 in a row.
Okay. Octavian, you feel something moving close to you. Very close to you.
Excellent. Can't see anything around me.
Nope.
You
You can see nothing at all.
Octavian calls out, does someone stand beside me? Will there be a response?
Garrett can hear you and is standing beside you. Sareth will say, right behind you. I
It's
can't
only been
see.
5 seconds.
I don't want to swing at a friend that is
You
distracted.
know that in
or-
front of you has been nobody at any point, apart from Sky, who walked down the corridor.
And is that where I sent someone being in front of me that wasn't there before?
You feel movement sort of somewhere forward to your left.
Forward to my left.
Yeah. So on the map, down and right, but from your character's perspective, forward and left.
In this darkness, I'm assuming I can move. Is my movement restricted like that ball of darkness in the first fight?
You would
with the
have
drow?
to attempt with either perception checks or, like whatever to overcome. Walking in the dark, I don't know if you've ever done it in real life, right? But if you walk in pitch black when you can't see, it's very hard to walk at a normal pace, even if you think you know exactly where you're going. I can descend the stairs in my house in the pitch black with my eyes closed, but if I open my eyes, I walk slower if I can't see.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a natural feeling.
Octavian,
Unnatural.
I don't know what kind of actions this would take for, but he's going to put his dagger away because he had his sword and dagger out, and following, I believe, Garrick's voice, he's going to try and go towards Garrick with that one hand out and try and find where Garrick is.
You discover that Garrick is right next to you, next to your sword arm on your right.
All right, Octavian is going to put his back to Garrick and say, kind of loudly, like in the darkness, "Garrick, I am here. Do not strike I am not your foe. Do not strike in this direction." Octavian will turn his back to Garrick and hold an action to strike at something that might come towards him.
As you say this, you just hear the word direction, shun, sort of echo back at you in this darkness. And then this noise as a creature sort of lashes out at you in the darkness. And honestly, what this feels like is that you have been latched onto. It's... How do I even explain this? Can I make a handout for it? I think I can. I can do this. It's like pointed tentacles sort of all down your back and over your shoulders as it sort of grips you across the chest and the back, and it begins to constrict on you. Is that not rolling? Oh, there it is. 22 will hit you.
Yes.
As it lands on you, you will take 9 bludgeoning damage, Octavian.
Excellent. And I'm assuming because of the darkness, the reaction attack doesn't go through.
I'm about to say, you may strike out before your breath is taken away from you. But, so you just roll straight, please. Oh, no, you don't. You roll with disadvantage because it can see you, but you can't see it. Yes.
All right. With disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
I can see. Seven.
A 7 will miss. And you now sort of have this creature on your back. Tentacles down.
So, question. I specifically said that my back was like facing Garrick and kind of close to him.
Oh, in that case, sorry, yes,
Garrick-
I forgot about that. In that case, it's latched onto your chest with its tentacles over the back of your neck.
Oh, okay. I was
Right,
hoping Garrick could feel this monster as it tore into my back.
There is an image of the creature in the chat, just so you can get a context of this, although obviously your character can't see this. Yeah. But that's what you can feel, like latched around you. It doesn't feel very big. It's quite heavy when it's hanging off you, though. Garrick?
Alright. I'm going to begin to drag, since he essentially, like, our hands are together, right? I'm going to drag him with me as I then begin to move.
Okay. Difficult terrain, then.
Alright.
Okay.
Oof.
1.
Oof.
You feel yourself step on something squishy. It feels fleshy, like a body. Maybe it's Sky's.
And then I'm going to cast Produce Flame
Nice. Okay. What are you doing with it?
I'm gonna put it near my hand so I can see.
It gives you no vision at all.
Alright. I went like how far? That far? And I'm currently stepping on something fleshy.
You are. Well, yeah, you're stepping on its leg.
Okay, I'm gonna try and move forward one more.
You bump into something. It
Does
doesn't
that use-
speak back in common.
Does that use my movement?
There is nowhere to go. You can't move there. You just bump into something. It is somewhat fleshy and solid. In fact, it has little sharp edges, but it's most definitely not humanoid.
Alright. I'm gonna try to like go past it then over here. Do I hit
You
something
walk
like
straight into Sky.
Alright.
Sky, you
What
just
about-
you bumped into. Go ahead and give me a deck save, Sky. The thing you bumped into, Garrick, you can work out was the first thing was probably an enemy. Sky, you're bumped into, but you don't sort of stumble over. You've used 20 foot of movement speed to get here because it's darkness, and it's been slow going.
Well, that was my action, I guess. I still don't see anything here in Produce Flame, so that's it.
Yeah. Okay. And you hear sort of run as a creature leaps out and lands on his back. Zoroaster. A creature jumps out at you. Oh, does a 14 hit you, Zoroaster?
Yeah.
Oh, poor you. And yeah, it sort of starts latching onto you. Well, I don't think blind is going to affect you in the slightest, but I do need a strength save, please.
How much damage is it?
None.
Oh,
It's a
damn.
different type of hit. This is blinding, but it's not going to make any
It's
difference.
11.
An 11. Okay, and you will stumble to your knees as the creature's weight sort of bears you down.
Oh.
Okay, and the next one, Sky. You feel a sort of slash come over towards you. A slash of sharp tentacles. Oh dear. Sky, I think you're going down. That is 15 piercing damage. Whilst you are down, you will not be able to make death saving throws, but will instead be paralyzed. Yum. You're up. Sorry, Josh, was there something I missed? Is there a class ability or something?
No, you pretty much got it.
Okay, cool. Right, okay, that's fine. You can't make any death saving throws, you are just currently paralyzed. Okay. But Yum. You're up.
I kind of reach out around me to see who's next to me.
As you reach out to your left, Sarath goes, "Put your arms down, you're making this difficult." Reaching forward, you sort of feel nothing, you almost stumble. And as you reach to your right, your hands grip something sharp, inhuman, and slightly slimy.
Sarah? What do we do?
I don't know.
There's something right in front of me.
Then hit it. Or something.
Okay. Yon just silently takes out her dagger and tries to slash at whatever she's holding.
I need you to roll me a D100, please. This is a percentile 50-50 coin flip.
$26.
That is a lot less than 50. Your dagger strikes into orcish flesh as Ron, I don't need you hitting me too! As you have stabbed him in the shoulder. From that, you can gather that whatever you grabbed was attached to Ront. Zoroaster, you're up.
I guess I'm on the floor.
But there is a creature on your back, right? It bared you down with its own weight. So it's not hard to work out where it is.
I'll just grab it and take it out of my back, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and give me an athletics check, please.
Let's try. Oh, it's not letting me roll it. Oh. 7.
It's a... it's a... How many times did you roll? It just keeps coming along. You sort of grip it, but then you end up sort of interlocked with it, struggling with this creature on your back. That does consume an action, however.
Sucks, that's my turn.
Okay. That brings us back to the... Well, not quite. It brings us to... Yeah, I think the only... Mebel can't see anything and will panic and hide. Stool is unconscious. That leads us to Eldeth, who sort of... I'm sorry if this misses! And she just sort of throws out a sacred flame in a random direction. But she's only got a 50-50, right? So how wrong can it go? Hey! And the creature on Ront's back sort of lets out a hiss and a noise. But it doesn't take any damage. Octavian.
Excellent. So, is Octavian grappled by this?
Yes, so you're... Well, interesting.
Because could Octavian attack the thing on his chest, or is he incapable of that?
Yeah, you can attack it on your chest. It is attempting to crawl up towards your head.
Alright, Octavian is definitely going to attack it then. I'm assuming because it is on himself, I don't have to make it at advantage or disadvantage.
Yeah, although you can't see the creature, you know exactly where it is, so just go ahead and make a straight roll.
Alright. 23.
23 will hit, and you may add sneak damage, though you don't know
Excellent.
why. In a weird situation like that. Good times.
9 plus 18, 17?
9 plus 18 is 17?
Or, sorry, wait. 9 plus 8.
Okay. Oh, look at that! How exciting for you. Garrick, the produced flame is 10 feet of light, is that correct?
Whoa.
As Octavian strikes out across his chest, whatever was emitting that darkness, you just hear a...
Yeah, 10
And
feet.
you have killed it.
Excellent.
It's 10 feet? Yeah, bright
10
light?
by 10. 10 bright, 10 dim, yeah.
Oh, 10 dim as well, okay.
Yeah.
Let's give you that as well. Yeah, cool. I think
Alright.
everybody who can see can now see, yes? Oh no, sorry. Yeah, that's right, okay. At the moment, you are not blind. You are not blinded. Cool. Octavian, does that conclude your turn?
I don't know if I'm just misremembering. What is that? The red token next to Garrick?
Ah, that is the body that was dropped from the ceiling.
Oh, okay, great.
Garrick's standing on its leg. It's wrapped in spiderwebs.
Excellent. What could make Octavian less threatening? I'm assuming there's no good place to hide.
I don't know, you can see what you can see.
Yeah. And I guess with a bonus action, can Octavian take his dagger back out?
You can...
Or is-
Yeah, you can. Very much so.
All right, Octavian will use his bonus action to take his dagger out, and I guess stay right where he is.
Okay. Garrick can now see. And you do see a sort of floating tentacled creature about 3 foot off the ground, it having just slashed at Sky's face, and Sky lying unconscious upon the ground.
So Sky looks unconscious on the ground.
Sky looks fucked.
All right. Yeah, Garrick's gonna see this, and he will speak out in Druidic.
Rise.
With the healing word.
Mm-hmm. No effect.
No effect on Sky?
Sky, you're paralyzed. Remember? You're not making death saving throws, you're paralyzed. Sky remains motionless upon the ground.
No, Garrick doesn't know that. But he is then gonna go ahead and slash at this tentacle fuck with his primal savagery.
Josh, you can heal for the 4 health, but you are paralyzed. You can't move. Sorry, what was that? Again, you
Primal
slash
savagery.
Slash at it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, slash it. That is a 9. I assume that misses.
9 will miss, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. The first creature will attempt to slash at Ront. And Ron sort of is bared down to the ground. The second creature will slash out at Garrick. Straight roll now. 14 to hit you, Garrick.
14 does hit, yes.
You'll take 8 slashing damage. And he will... yeah, that's it. That's him. The creature standing over Zoroaster sort of crawls up his back and wraps itself over his head and begins to choke the life out of him with its very own body. Sky is paralyzed. Yum, you're up.
Okay, can I see the one in front of?
If you can see, you can see. If you can't see, you can't see. Like, if you can see it on the screen with your token, then you can see it in character.
Yeah, I was just seeing if I could see past Garrick.
Yes, you can.
Okay, I am going to strike the monster with a vicious mockery, saying,
Okay.
I've seen better tentacles in certain movies than from you.
He likes his movies. He's seen better tentacles too. That's a 14.
God damn it, that's the DC.
Any bonus action from you, Ian?
I've literally got nothing.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Zoroaster is blinded and restrained and will make a strength check when he gets back. Octavian.
Octavian will strike out at the creature right by Sky.
Yep. Okay.
Attacking with sword.
Mm-hmm.
24 to hit.
24 hits.
Damage, and I'm assuming sneak attack as well.
Of course, yeah.
Alright, 9 plus 11, 20 damage.
Yeah, you absolutely delete it. You just slash straight through it. Any bonus action from you?
Can Octavian use that bonus action to kind of inspect Sky in any way? Like, make sure he's alive?
You can do that as a free action, but, well, yeah, you then won't be able to sort of run off, I guess. Yeah, he seems to be completely still, completely motionless, almost rigid. But his eyes do move left and right. He can see. He just can't move.
Okay, definitely conscious. That's definitely
100% conscious, 100% incapable of doing anything.
All right, Octavian will try and give him like a thumbs up or like some reassuring sign that's like, you'll be okay, maybe.
Perhaps.
I would like to use my reaction to telepathically say to him, really, a thumbs up.
Oh, and you can speak telepathically whilst paralyzed. Oh, that's brilliant. I love that. And that Octavian is, yeah, that's a nice thing to receive at that moment.
Can I
Garrick.
take any like vicious mockery damage?
Garrick, you're up.
All right.
I'm pretty
just to
sure
bear
that'll
in
be fire
mind,
damage because that was the
Just bear in mind that this creature is actually latched onto Zarasta's head.
Right.
This one was latched onto Ront. Ront is lying down unconscious.
Alright, well, I'm looking fucked up, so I'm probably gonna prioritize myself first. Maybe, yeah. I'm gonna healing word myself once more as a bonus action.
Athletics check, Bruno. Bruno, not you. Go ahead, you healing word yourself, yeah. Action.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna walk over to here and try to swipe at the thing that's on his head.
It's not on his head. He's actually just thrown it down to the ground in front of him. Sort of just it was on your head, like trying to blind you and restrain you. And yeah, you've thrown it down into the ground. That's all right. So yeah, Garrick, you can just go ahead and attack it if you want.
All right, that is a 7. That misses.
7 does miss. Yes, guys aren't very good at this actually hitting things thing. Yeah, the creature maneuvers off of Ront and attempts to leap down onto Yum. Yum, a 7 will miss you though, right? I assume.
Yeah.
And the creature that was on Zarasta is now going to attempt to consume Garrick. But I will get a nat 1. Look at me with my terrible rolls. Yum!
Okay, since that thing's just tried to latch on to me, I am going to stab it.
Cool. Go ahead. A 10 will hit.
Oh, it'll hit?
Mm-hmm.
My word.
And there's their armor class.
So that's 3 piercing.
And with that, the creature is dead. Does that conclude your turn?
It does, as I say to it. Oh, a little penetration does go a long way.
Zarasta, you're up.
Can't really see anyone else.
No, there's one creature right in front of you. You've thrown it down to the ground.
Oh.
You should be able to see it.
I guess I'll hit it.
Yeah, you should. Go ahead.
That's all I can do, my love. Bonk it. That's an 8.
It's only got 10 armor class. How have you guys missed so many times? That'll miss. Oh, someone died. Oh, Bruno really didn't like missing that. 10 armor class. He's human. I'm sure he'll be back shortly.
How did that happen?
I don't
What
know.
just happened?
You missed with an 8, and then you got really annoyed and closed Discord. That's what we decided.
No. I heard all of that. I heard everything you said.
Yeah, who knows? Octavian.
Anyways, that's my turn.
Oh, sorry. Octavian. There's one creature
Octavian,
left. Yeah.
Octavian will step forward and have a stab at it.
Yep.
24 to hit.
Yes.
Damage is
Have you got all 4 kills? No, Yum got one, right.
18 damage.
Beautiful. And as you slay the final creature, just before I tell you what happens next, you will get... Oh. Sorry, it's not much. 48 XP each. That's a really weird number. Just add 50. Just add 50. I don't know why it's 48. That's just an intolerable number in my mind. Yeah, and as you take out the final creature, scurrying down off of the spider webs that drag across the ceiling are 2 goblins. They leap down and land in front of you and... Ow! You got hit by the stingers! Don't want to get hit by the stingers! Quick! Take this! And he takes out a bottle and he starts to, like, sprinkle it over Sky and over Ront. You must be new to this parts. And Sky and Runt will now be able to move. As you feel the poison sort of go away. Paralysis. Go away. And then they sort of kick the body of... that's wrapped in spider webs and and the body sort of writhes a bit, and still alive, still alive! And the goblin sort of, ignoring all of you, just sort of move over and start cutting out what appears to be another goblin from the spider webs. Fell from right up the top, he did! Lucky the spider webs, otherwise he would have died! Hey, how are you? I'm Yuck.
Would those things we fought...
Dark mantles!
What produced this? Dark mantle? Okay.
You need to be careful of them. They come out, they hide, come very well, right next to stalagmites. And then, whoo, get you. Middle of the night. And they're darkness. They emit darkness. Want to be careful. Anyway, this is Lilith, and that's spider bait. And points to the one on the floor, who's wrapped in spider webs. And we will chat to them next session, as that is where we will end.
If only I had Dome of Silence.
Just for reference, that is Yuck, Lilith, and Spiderbait. Oh, I've spoken as Yuck. I don't know how I did that. That's pretty clever. Regardless. Yes, and we will come to the timeless tradition of MVPs. James, I come to you first.
Sky for using telepathy or whatever to tell me off.
I like that too. Darth.
I'm gonna have to say Garrick, just for holding his ground, staring into the water. You know, despite everyone else, he was just stood there admiring the beautiful waves, almost as if he was a stone statue. Oh wait,
he was 3 con saves away from being a statue for good. And it was a pretty high DC. 15's not easy at this level. So yeah, I was really looking forward to that. That encounter. I've been looking forward to it for a while. Bruno.
I really enjoyed the snakes. I thought it was an interesting mechanic.
What, in the water? Which bit? The charisma saves or the stone bit?
Charisma.
So it basically says if you fail the charisma save, you have an irrational urge to help them in achieving whatever they wish, which at the moment was eating you, or just getting meat. Josh.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that. I really like the idea of these creatures that lurk, in the shadows or whatever, and who entice people to come and aid them. I thought it was very cool and a very scary thing.
Kind of like a mermaid or siren almost.
Yeah, very much so. They're based on, I think, the sort of idea that when you stare into a dragon's eyes, you're charmed by it. I think it's like that. But yeah, river basilisks. Again.
Oh, me. Oh, okay. I for some reason thought Agan was someone else. Like, yeah, where is this Agan guy gonna start talking? Alright. Favorite moment. I guess it was, the little funeral moment, I suppose. For what was
Vela?
Vela, yes. Vela. That was nice. That was a nice little moment, even if Garrick probably would have just liked to hurry things along. I enjoyed that. That was fun. Favorite character thing? I suppose.
That can be that, if you want.
Yeah, sure. That as well. Yeah.
I had a couple. I really liked the idea of Octavian putting this dagger away and sort of reaching out and just being like, by the way, don't stab me! To Garrick, which is great. Really enjoyed that. And I also really enjoyed the sheer fear you had at reaching into the pouch and finding, Eldeth in a glass marble. So that was really cool. And we also have a DM inspiration to give out. A D6 die, because my favourite moment as well was the funeral of Vela. Darth, that was really quite a touching, moving moment. I know it was the only person Yum had really bonded to at this moment, and seeing how you handled that Yeah, really, I thought it was really good. So I really enjoyed that. It's a D6 inspiration die, as and when you need it. Can be applied to anything, even a death save, even a nat 1. But with that, that is where we're going to end. So if you guys would like to say goodbye,
Bye.
Bye.
we shall
Bye.
see you soon.